Podium tier with round 2 around Paul Ricard. It is me, Brett, and my well, joining me is my co-host, cat named Minty. How are you doing?
And I'm fine, and how are you?
Very good. Excited to be back once again. Last week I have to say the commentary was a bit messy on my part. Um, but we're trying to be a bit more organised this week. Just we were trying to get used to everything. Um, so far, it's been successful. To do it more successful. Last week we seen really where everyone's kind of going to shape out. We've seen some actually amazing battles, some crashes, basically everything you want to see in a league race. And I think we really have a big season ahead of us, don't you think?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I remember the Mercedes of Quaz and Zeppedoodle, they were really close to each other. So it will be very spicy up the top. With Vitinho, he kind of crashed on lap 1, which ruined his race. He got back up to P6, but it could have been way better for him, if not that crash.
Well, last week we did see Quist take home the checkered flag in first position. Fall behind him was Zeppedoodle, who really kept on his gearbox for most of the race. Scorpion Hun, the other Mercedes, getting a double podium actually for the Mercedes team. Really, they showed what they're capable of last week, and I'm excited to see more of it. Pete Parker came home in 4th place, while CSGB Rainman, his debut I believe, made it in P5. That's a very nice debut from him. Vitinho in P6 and his Williams. Very good recovery drive. Konghofner in the Haas in P7, getting 6 points here. Rich 500 in the Renault, getting another 4 points. ST Mats 9th and Pollage Town at 10th with the last point on the grid. I mean, we have to look at that there. We only have two teams that have 2 cars in the same in the top 10. I think that's quite showing how close this grid is, and that it's not going to be that easy for constructors, I reckon.
Well, we've seen that Mercedes, they did a very good job with first and third, both their cars on the podium, but the other teams, it's really close. Like in France, I won't be able to predict who will be the fastest, who will be best of the rest. It's just too close to call.
Well, saying that, last week who got the fastest lap? It would be in the top 10. It's going to be Pete Parker and the racing points. So getting himself an extra 1 point there, making it 13 points in total of last week's race. Then ILRT Dex Dexter is the driver that does get it outside the points, and I don't know why, but he's got a Mercedes badge on the thing I'm looking at right now, but I know that's not the case. Quest getting, I don't know what that is. No,
Uh, Pole position.
pole position. There we go. Thank you. I don't know what that stands for, but now it makes sense. And then the driver of the day was Vitinho, which I think is very deserved after his outstanding drive after that crash.
It was very well deserved. Zandvoort wasn't the easiest track to overtake on. France this week, it's an alright track to overtake on. There's 2 action zones into turn 1 and 2, and probably into the chicane turn 8 and turn 9. I think those are the only 2 spots to really overtake at this track.
Now here is the constructor standings. If anyone is wondering, Mercedes is in the lead with 40 points, 28 points ahead of Red Bull in second. Racing Point follows behind in P3 with a total of 13 points, all done by Peter Parker himself. Maybe his teammate will be able to get inside the top 10 and offer some points as the session is starting. Ferrari in 4th getting 10 points, Williams in 5th getting 8th, Haas in 6th getting 6, Renault in 7th getting 4 points, McLaren in 8th getting 1, AlphaTauri getting 1, and Alfa Romeo struggling last week and gets 0 points in the end.
Yeah, very difficult race for the Alfa Romeos and for the AlphaTauris. Of course, AlphaTauri got their point because of Dex Dexter's fastest lap outside of the top 10. So he was quite lucky to get that 1 point for his team.
As I'm just trying to sort out my computer right now, it's having a bit of a...
Just a little bit of track facts for you. The length of the track is 5.8 kilometers or 3.6 miles. We're going to be doing 27 laps around the circuit de Paul Ricard. It's going to have 15 corners. I'm not sure how many to the left, how much to the right. The race distance will be 157 kilometers or 98 miles. And the compounds will be the C4, the C3s and the C2s.
Well, thank you for the information, Minty, as I'm just trying to load out our TAS dashboard, which we'll talk about in a second, made by IGKNs. It's really been supporting the commentators this season and also offers the drivers of the league a little end of race summary, you could say.
Yeah, it's great what he's done, really helps us out. Gives us an insight into the drivers after the race. They can obviously go back and look how they did.
I'm just trying to get the chat up. Everyone here watching the One Hub Podium to round 2 around the France circuit, and it is just Jess going exclamation mark help, and here we go. We get the spam of the TAS system, so it will be fun. Let's see who is first out in track. I don't know if you can help me out here.
That would be one of the Hasses of Kong Hofner. I think they are brothers. They have Hofner in their name. So they're both out on track. Maybe a little bit of slipstreaming going on. Some team tactics. So that will really help out the Haas team.
CSGB underscore Jimbo Mansey also saying let's go Rainman. So we've got a supporter in the chat for Rainman after his very good debut P5 from last week's race.
Rainman really showing his worth here in podium tier. Unfortunately his teammate King Jort isn't here. He could have been a 2-time race winner here at the Circuit de Paul Ricard, but he is not here.
Well, as Kong Hofner begins his lap, he's now coming around the final corner, making sure he gets the best exit possible, but maybe actually not what he would have wanted. But let's head up to the line and begins his lap. Turn 1 is a full-on send corner. Many mistakes can be had, many invalidations. Will he invalidate? He enters the corner very nicely, gets the car turned in, and is very confident through there, it seems.
That was a great line through there. Now going into turn 3 for really slow pace section here. Heading onto a back straight. Really important straight. Really important to get a good exit off here. With now DRS wide open. This is where the cars will be going at their highest speeds. Around 340 kilometers per hour. I'm not sure how much that is in miles per hour. Now going into a chicane, great overtaking zone in the race. As we see, that is Rainman getting out the way for Kong Hofner, going into the right, the really fast right-hander, and into this again swooping right-hander, a double apex. It's really important to nail both those apexes. Now into the left. I think it's a little bit off camber. It's important not to hit that curb on the inside. Now coming up to the last few corners, really long left-hander and it's a tight right-hander. The last corner, really important to get a good exit. He comes up to a line and it's going to be a 1 minute 28.634.
but his teammate Le Hoffner beats out by not not much of a difference, to be honest. And I feel like I'm going to make a mistake trying to say at the time, so I'm just not going to bother. Bruma comes home in P3 there for the moment with a 29.1. Zepidoodle goes P3 with a 28.7, trying to close the gap on the very confident Haas cars at the moment.
Yeah, the Haas cars doing a great job so far. Going P1 and P2, but that will surely be broken later on in the qualifying session.
Here's TC though coming up to the line. What is he going to say on the medium tyres? And it is actually a decent lap. There's a 30.6, 3 times off of his teammate Paul Widgestown.
And I have a feeling TC can improve on that lap time. I'm not sure if he's going to be qualifying on the mediums, because it's going to be a 2-stop race, as it's mandatory to make a 2-stop, so I don't really see the point of going on the mediums at the start.
Well, CSGB Rainman is currently coming into, or well, is in the final sector, goes for the second last corner now into the final, where it's very hard to spot your braking point, but he does it very nicely, activates the DRS now down the straight. What is Rainman going to set? Comes across the line and goes P3 with a 28.734.
It's really close up at the front, only 2 tenths separating first and fifth. The two Red Bulls in fourth and fifth. Rainman separating the two constructors. I'm not sure how to say that, but he's the odd one out there in the top 5. He doesn't have his teammate here tonight.
Catboy Key coming across the line here. Didn't have a great start to his one hub podium season, but Quest also coming across the line, last race's winner, and he goes pole position with a 28.3, showing the pace once again this week in qualifying.
Yeah, that is a brilliant lap from the Mercedes driver. He can surely improve on that. And will he make it back-to-back pole positions?
Well, it's definitely a hard task ahead of him, but at the moment dominating the field. Will his teammate though be able to challenge as he now comes around into the final corner? A lot of these cars looking very confident on the traction compared to last game. People struggled on the traction on the exits. Comes across the line, doesn't set a lap there, but I think he's going for another one maybe.
He just started his flying lap, that was his out lap.
Ah, right, okay. Well, we'll watch on board with Scorpion on this lap as he goes into turn 4 there. Turn 5 now is a very sharp corner, a little bit getting on the traction nice and early, keeping tight to the right, using all the exit on the left there. Turn 7 now, just a flat out corner on to the main straight. Some people would prefer the straight to go all the way to the fast right hander up ahead of this chicane here, but I personally love this chicane as it really offers some great racing. Scorpion, I'm really struggling on the traction. It seems as he has to pick up his little mistake on the exit there.
Now going into turn 10, really fast, flat out these days. Just shows how much downforce these cars have. Now double apex, right hander. Into turn 12 he goes. The curb on the inside is an auto spin curb, so not the best if you hit it. Now going up to turn 14.
Pizza Parker.
Now really long left-hander as Pizza Parker gets the fastest lap time. 1:28 flat. 3 tenths faster than Quas.
Does Scorpion have anything
to
to say? No, it's another. Oh no, he does. He goes pole. Sorry, that was really weird. I don't know what happened there. But so it's a 27.9 again. The Mercedes showing their pace in first and third right now. Pizza Parker's lap time was also very solid. Sad we didn't get to see that, but it's quickly beaten by the other Mercedes of Scorpion Hunt.
Pizza Parker 13 points in the last race, and he got the fastest lap. showing how good he is on that 1 lap pace, splitting up the 2 Mercedes drivers.
Well, here's Zepeduto on his lap in the Red Bull. He is in second in the championship after his great drive last week. Will he be able to continue the fight against Quiz, as he's really shown some dominant pace as of the first round there? What is your opinion? How do you think Zepeduto will come up against Quiz in this race?
Yeah, he had a really good opener to the season. His strategy didn't work out for him. I think he left it a little bit too late to try and overtake the British driver. But if he gets a good qualifying in, I have a feeling that he will be a little bit more aggressive and try to go for those moves around France.
I'm currently just trying to get this off my screen, full screen, so I can see the chat, everyone. Bear with me.
How is...
Okay, my chat's just glitched.
That's nice. I think I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah. Zepeduto though coming around at the final corner. What is the Aussie man gonna say as he comes up to the line? That's not the finish line, that is the finish line, and it does not improve.
Did they change the finish line? I swear they did.
I feel like they did.
I have a feeling
further back
it was... I think it was earlier than on the last game, but I'm not gonna go check it now, so we'll never know. As a lot of people going rooting for Bruma in the chat.
Yep. Rich though on his lap, he set a 29.287 before, but can he improve? I certainly think he can. Coming around the final corner now, what will the Renault driver be able to do as he's the first of the pair? Coming not here, now he's coming across the line and does improve up to P11 with a 28.9.
Yeah, good lap time from him. Right now I'm going on board with Quas, who invalidated his lap time at the chicane. That's very unfortunate for him. He was trying to improve, get that pole position away from his teammate Scorpion, but it doesn't seem that he's going to do it on this lap.
Someone yet to set a lap is okay, but what can he do? Didn't see much of him in the opening round. There we go. Finally getting my English correct today. As he goes very wide there. I don't know what happened to his car. Just understeered. Seems like the car is maybe just not slowing down enough. Not enough downforce on the car as he makes his way into the pits. But he will only be able to set, I reckon, one more lap in that qualifying session.
I have a feeling that they're going to do some last minute tuning to the car, putting a little bit more downforce on it, as we saw him understeer into turn 12 that was. So we will see him probably at the end of the qualifying session trying to set his one and only lap. So that will be his only chance to, in qualifying, to set a competitive lap.
Well, here comes Riley Bays. Didn't see much of him last week. Does it though, cross the line and goes P3 with a 28.279.
And that is great news for the Alfa Romeo team. Of course, they have no points so far this season. The only team with no points after round 1. So that is very good news for the Italian outfit.
Catboy Key is also on a lap. The only one on an official lap right now. As he enters the second last corner. Now the final corner. Can he improve as he's got a 29.6? Is the last of the lap time, or is the last driver who set a lap and comes across the line, does improve to P13, sitting a 29 flat.
A lot slower than his teammate Pizza Parker. As a 1 second difference. So Kabwiki will be looking to improve massively over the next coming rounds to match his teammate.
Coutinho now on a lap after his qualifying last week, which I believe it was P3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hoping that we can see a bit more of Coutinho because I feel like he's going to be a big title contender long term into the season. But really did get unlucky in that opening round.
Yeah, as I said at the start of the season, even before qualifying, I was going for him to win the championship. So he got really unlucky there. We saw some amazing overtakes by him, even at track like Zandvoort, but that's him spinning. As I said, don't go on that curb. It's basically an auto spin curb. So now he's going to go into a pit. 60 kilometers per hour. Very unusual. It's usually 80 kilometers per hour, but the pit entry is way too narrow for the cars to be going at such high speeds.
Well, Zepido on the lap really does need to improve. He's not really sat in the best position. He's on P9 currently as he sends it through turn 9, well, turn 8 and 9 now at turn... I don't know if that actually counts as the corner. No, it does not. Zepido though coming up to turn 10, the flat out right-hander, very iconic in my opinion. You'd love to see some cars going side by side, and then we go in turn 11 now. This is a very long right-hander and dips into an off-camber kind of corner. Quite easy to lose the back end, but we'll see a lot of dive bombs I reckon in there. Zepido coming through the second last corner now. Now the last, what can the Red Bull driver do? He's going to be the first person to set his final lap. He's coming, activates the DRS, Jesus, and crosses the line, and it goes P5 over 28.5 there. Not, maybe not where he wants to be, but let's hope he can hold his position.
Really lucky for him to get into that P5 1,000 faster than Vitinho. So he'll be hoping that Vitinho doesn't improve on his lap time.
Well, Lahofner is the next guy to cross the line, set an official lap here. What will he do? His teammates invalidated it though. So we'll see how Lahofner does get on. He'll be flying the flag for this kind of final lap of the Haas drivers.
Yeah,
1 minute.
Slow.
On you go.
He was the slower of the two Haas drivers at the start of the session. Now coming up to last corner, DRS wide open, coming across the finish line. What will it be? 1 minute 28.397 gets in front of Zepadoodle, and he's into 5th place.
Well, his teammate is looking to be setting up for another lap, but we'll see who else on a lap. It looks like Polwich, but I believe there's guys further up the field now of the likes. I'm trying to look. I believe that is ILRT Dexter. I see, yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, it's kind of hard to keep track with the amount of cars that I'm having to go through, but Dexter comes through the fast right-hander, getting the car nice and tight to the apex there. Turn 12 now. Very prolonged sector 3 here. All the corners are very long, and kind of it's gradual into in the final sector. It's all about placing your car in the right position, but it's usually where we like to see where we see the most overtakes. ILRT's Dexter goes P15 in the end there, with a driver behind of Scorpion Hun. Or no, it's Quest that goes at 27.7, beating out his teammate by 2 times. Let's look across the line now, as my thing isn't working. There we go.
Scorpion coming up to the finish line. His final lap. Will he beat his teammate?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. He goes on provisional pole position by 9 thousandths of a second. Really close up there in the front. Who else is coming up to the line?
Okay, crosses the line, does not improve. The one driver not to set a lap in this session. I'm seeing the likes of Pizza Parker. Will he? No, he spins on the final corner there. Will he get in anyone's road? No, I'm watching Rich 500 come for the final corner. He activates his DRS, coming up to the line now, and he will get not, well, he does improve by a tenth and a half, but does not improve his position. What about, who else is there? I can't see. What about Catboy Key? Is he finishes his lap? And I believe that's actually the session over. Not much changed in the end.
Yeah, that is the session over. Riley must have messed up his lap time. He came across the line with 2 seconds remaining. That was really close to start his flying lap. But the Mercedes have a 1-2 just like in real life. And if you could
Go for the results. Scorpion
yes.
Hunter MP1 with a 27.7, beating out his teammate. That is a good way to punch back after last week's result. Quest MP2, the other Mercedes driver, Pizza Parker, MP3, another solid qualifying results from him. Riley buys a very good showing in P4, ST Mats P5, Hoffner P6, Sepadoodle P7, maybe disappointing for him. Vitinho P8, Kong Hoffner is going to be P9, and running out the top 10 is CSGB Rainman. 11 is Polishtown, Rich 500 in P12, Catboy Key in P13, GR Burma in P14, Dex Dexter in P15, TC in P16, and Cam K Mom in P17. Then rounding off the grid, setting no time in the end, is going to be okay.
Really close in qualifying. Who do you think will come across the checkered flag first at the end of the Grand Prix?
At the moment, with the pace of Quest and Scorpion Hunt, I might have to say the two Mercedes, but Pizza Parker is also one of the drivers that is very good in the race, so we'll see how he gets on during the race, but at the moment I cannot guess. What's your opinions?
Now, I'm going for a dark horse here. I think it's going to be Riley or ST Mats going across to win the Grand Prix. There might be like, I have a feeling that the Mercedes will crash potentially or collide in some way.
Well, big assumptions there, but I'll just put it into perspective here. Pizza Parker's lap, he was going, maybe, seems like he might have actually went pole if he did not spin in the final corner. That is a shame to see, but we will see how everything gets on in the race. But Pizza Parker really does look to be on the pace tonight.
Yeah, he really does. Of course, last week I think it was P4 that he got. Now in the race, P3 in qualifying. This time, he's looking great this season, and he might be the dark horse in the championship.
Well, I'm going to go for a drink, because if I don't, you're going to hear tons of voice cracks, and let's be honest, nobody wants that. So I'm meant to keep everyone occupied.
I'll try to, as we're waiting for all the drivers to ready up. Now, starting the formation lap. And don't forget, we are sponsored by Next Level Racing and Liam 13, who is racing in the tier below us. He will be providing the trophies for this season. So those are the sponsors for One Hub Racing. Formation lap, let's see the tires. I'm not sure what tires the drivers are on. I know the top 10 are most definitely on the soft combo tires. If I remember correctly, the strategy is a soft medium here for tonight, or a soft medium soft, as the soft combo tires can go 9 laps, the mediums can go Just let me double check. 14 laps, and the hard tyres can go 18 laps. The mediums are 1.2 seconds slower than the softs, and the hard tyres are 1.8 seconds slower than the soft tyres. So not a huge difference between the medium and hard compound tyres, but the softs definitely have the advantage. As welcome back, Brett.
Don't forget to mention the mandatory 2-stop if you haven't already mentioned it.
I have.
Oh, he's already ahead of me, everyone. But here we go. The drivers will begin to line up to the grid. You're gonna have Scorpion Hun starting in P1 instead this week, instead of his teammate, who I'm actually surprised. I thought Quest would have took that home, but Scorpion Hun really showing that he can challenge this week.
The Hungarian driver doing an amazing job to put it on pole position. Barely anything separating the two Mercedes drivers, and you can really see the Mercedes dominance like in real life. So it will be interesting to see that across the rest of the season, and the pink Mercedes, as people call it, in P3. So it's really a Mercedes party here at the Circuit de Paul Ricard.
Well, here we go. Three Mercedes ending cars on the top three as everyone gets ready. We've not got the best camera angle. There we go. And as 5 red lights are out for the France Grand Prix, and Scorpion does get away very nicely with Quest following behind in suit. Pete Parker also keeping it nice and clean, with Lehofner trying to make it around the outside, and yes, he does possibly get that done successfully. No, he doesn't. Carnage in the background as we see two cars spinning there of, I believe, CSGB Rainman, and Vitinho again getting unlucky this week.
Oh God, Vitinho very unlucky on the opening lap. We saw that in Zandvoort, and he's again at the back of the grid here at the French Grand Prix. It will be easier to overtake here though than at the Zandvoort circuit.
Well, we've seen also the two Red Bulls squabbling at behind. There's a projected pit stop strategy, everyone, but remember we are on 2 stops, so that actually does work out for us. All the drivers starting on the soft tyres will be making another pit stop to them, or maybe to the mediums. We have Cowboy Key though, who got a very nice start there in P9, sitting behind Riley Byes, who struggled to get his car going on that race start.
That was not the best start from him. I'm just going to check where he started. He dropped down 4 positions. He started in P4. He's down to P8, so not the start of dreams for the Dutch driver.
Well, the biggest gainer out of that lap 1 is going to be Cam K-Mom, getting 5 positions. The biggest loser is Vitinho, losing 10 positions as he makes his first pit stop of the Grand Prix. Zeppedo though, maybe getting attacked from the Haas driver Kong Hofner, as he's looking very confident in qualifying. His car is just sticking to the tarmac here.
That's Quas! He has spun it, and he's down to P13, P14, P15.
Luckily, he will stay in the DRS training, and he's on the soft tyres, but he will have to make another. Well, we're going to have another drive making a recovery drive. Scorpion Hun, though, is in the lead by 1.3 seconds over Pete Parker and P2. Lehofner keeping in what would be the DRS range of 9/10, or well, usually a second, but he's. Well, it is a second, but he's in 9/10. Everyone, please just understand me. I'm just having a bad day, I guess. Speaking of that DRS gap, Lehofner has just popped out of it. Almost 1.1 second.
I'm on board with Insane Dexter, I'm just going to call him that. He was going side by side with TC. TC getting ahead of him round the outside of the really fast flat out right hander. As TC keeping 13th position.
Quest is getting a move on, like I said. He's on them soft tyres. He's going to have more grip than these guys, as they all are on the medium compound. At least most of them are. But he's going to make a pit stop nice and early. Take advantage of this early stop. A possible safety car could help his race out.
As it now is Kong Hofner trying to go down the inside of Zeppadoodle into turn 1. wait for another opportunity. He's not going risky in the first few laps. We saw what happened between Rainman and Vitinho on lap 1. Doesn't want to repeat that, but with Zeppadoodle and himself.
As Konghofner setting up his move, maybe activating, there's ERS, now activating DRS as he sets himself up against the Red Bull. Zeppadoodle moves to the left hand side of the track here. Zeppadoodle has no defence for the moment and will sit back behind the Haas for a couple more laps maybe.
Konghofner used up a lot of his
Speaking of
ERS
looking
there.
fighty, Riley buys now on the left, really getting forced off the track. There's Zeppadoodle offering no space and gets past the Red Bull driver. That's 2 positions lost in about a sector. Yes, it is a sector.
As I'm really trying to go down the inside, very opportunistic from him. But I don't think he'll make the music. No, he doesn't. And he stays behind Konghofner. Stefan now getting real close to the back of Riley. Maybe a little bit too close. But he was the sore loser. He lost 2 positions there.
Oh, we've got a big train forming from it. I believe, I think there's a timing glitch here. No, there's not. Okay. Right. We've got a big train forming from Konghofner to all the way back to Polish Town. And
that's Riley spinning!
Oh! It's a big crash between Riley and
that's Zeppadoodle out.
I've not seen a crash like that before.
It reminds me of what the AI do. Whenever they go for a move, they sometimes lose control.
Only a virtual safety car, and Zeppadoodle is, I think, sitting right in the apex right now. But I've got to say, I don't know what happened there. I think, was Zeppadoodle sitting on the outside, or no, it was Riley in the middle of the track. Zeppadoodle went the outside. I think Riley might have moved to the right, I believe, and then it kind of just caused a chain effect.
Riley, he lost control of his car because I was going on board with him. He lost control of his car while trying to overtake Konghofner, who was I think it was Konghofner or Leyhofner. I'm not too sure. One of the Haases. The Haas went to the left really quickly, so Riley had to react. He went to the right, lost control of his car, hit the wall, and he collected Zeppadoodle with him.
Well, Zeppadoodle in the chat saying Riley lost it in front of me, just went straight into him. Unavoidable accident, not your fault, Zeppadoodle, don't worry about that. Catboy Kilo going wide into the last corner, and Konghofner is going to take it. Very opportunistic, doesn't get the move done around the outside there, but does have the DRS down the straight. Here he goes, going to go to the right hand side of the track, back to the scene, I guess, round the outside, and gets the move done before the braking section.
And that was a really nice move, but Catboy will have DRS on the next straight, and Punish Town will have DRS on Catboy. So DRS train forming as now Cam K-Mum is catching up to the group. Now Catboy, he is behind Konghofner. He will have DRS wide open, overtake mode engaged. He'll try to go round the outside of Konghofner. Now into the chicane they go, still side by side. Catboy locks up and he stays behind the Haas driver. Now he is in the slipstream of Kong. Will he be close enough for a move? No, he won't be. He has to lift off a little. It's really close to the back of Konghofner, but he just can't make the move.
Welcome the new faces to the stream. Make sure to say hello in the chat. Tell us what you're thinking of the race if you've been here from the lap 1. Just a bit of an update. Riley and Zeppadoodle having a little bit of a crash there heading into turn 1 2 laps ago. Catboy and Konghofner also having a very nice fight here as they try to close in on the Red Bull driver of ST Mats, who is running a solo flag for the Red Bull team.
ST Mats, he's trying to catch up to Leyhofner. He's right now in a little bit of no man's land, just saving his ERS, saving his fuel. But he has to be wary of Konghofner It was catching him a little.
Well, let's look at Chris, or Quest as some people will call him. 31 seconds off the leader, and he is, I believe, setting some very nice laps here. Let me look into the timesheets, and yes, he is. He's setting a lot of purple sectors at the moment, but I believe yet to set a fastest lap as Konghofner and Catboy Key going back at it. I hate to do that, everyone, but watching the fight on as Paul Tim will watch from his POV as now they go through turn 12. Or turn 10, sorry, turn now 11, the swooping downhill right-hander, no opportunities for Konghofner just at the moment to get back at Catboy Key.
Kong isn't close enough, he is waiting for that DRS train, that's the
A pit stop.
straight.
Pit stop of Scorpion Hun there, and he really controlling the race so far. He built out a very nice gap from him and Pizza Parker. Pizza Parker will follow him in and holds Scorpion Hun up a bit. Scorpion Hun lucky not to actually get held up by the drivers behind Ping. But looks like that's actually going to happen or be the case for Pizza Parker as I'm trying to move down there. No, he actually gets away.
And I think those are all the soft runners now making their first pit stops. That promotes Catboy Key into P1 and Punishdown right behind him in second place. Bruma in third after not the best showing at Stanford.
Well, let's see Cam Town show any sight of battle here. The lead medium drivers at the moment as they make their way down the straight. Big C saying Brett, hello Connor. How are you, big man? And also Cohen saying hi. Hi to you as well, my Dutchy friend.
Oh, Punishdown. He will not be close enough to Catboy Key. He has used up a lot of his ERS. He only has 5% left, while Catboy Key really conserving his with still 45-50% left in his energy storage.
Liam 1-3 here, one of the sponsors for this season. Hello mate, thank you for sponsoring the trophies this season. It means a lot to OneHub and everyone in it, and I would say most likely the drivers as well, because they always love a nice trophy to add to their collection. I'm going to go on board with TC as he's looking on the back. He's in a bit of a DRS train of Rich 500 GR Burma, TC and OK Eke. I think I'm going to say it like that from now on, because that's what it looks like. I was just going OK earlier.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, and apparently Quaz, his name is Chris, so I guess I'm just going to call him that. Way easier.
Speaking of Chris, he is all the way down in P11 right now, is making a nice recovery drive behind ST Mats, who just recently pitted for the medium compound. We'll see how the other Mercedes driver gets on, but he isn't actually that far down the road from his teammate now.
Yeah, he got a big undercut on him, but he will have to. He is on older tyres now, and Scorpion does have the fastest lap so far, so Scorpion with the advantage currently.
Let's look further up the field, back of that battle. TC looking for an opportunity on Bruma as Bruma goes a bit wide there, but TC unable to make much of an effort at the moment. TC, speaking of TC, goes a bit wide there, but OK Eke does not get a chance.
No, TC. KK. I think OKK? As Scorpion Hunt sets the fastest lap of the session so far, 1 minute 32.1 on the medium combo of tyres. Just shows how much Mercedes are dominating.
Well, looking ahead for the battle for first, but not net P1. Scorpion is actually catching that train that we were just talking about a minute ago. But is it Polish Town close enough as he comes up to turn 8 now? Does close in the braking section, but does go a bit deep. So that might help him on the exit here out of turn 9.
I don't think he'll be close enough. He's not using overtake mode. And he has given up for this lap, and none of the drivers behind them close enough to each other to make an overtake. Scorpion catching up really quickly to the train, but I don't think they will bother him too much as they're also going on 2 stops.
Well, as you said, Scorpion Hunter is catching very quickly here. I just wonder if he's going to get held up by these two, as he does have a Pizza Parker, the fastest pizza delivery man, on the way behind them, catching about a good few tenths a lap, I'm seeing.
I just want to check. It was actually slower on the last lap. I'm not too sure about this lap though.
This lap he's went quicker.
Oh, by 1 second. According to the telemetry, but that is GR Bruma and TC going side by side.
Ooh.
And TC gets ahead of the Williams driver. The Williams driver will have DRS on the next straight. He's really close to TC. He's nearly touching his gearbox at some parts of the sector 1.
But that isn't over. Look behind him is Scorpion Hun. Okay is looking for a move. He moves to the right hand side of the track. Also gets the opportunity on TC. It's going to be free wide here into turn 9. It's going to be carnage. No, it's not. Very clean driving from all the drivers. Scorpion Hun getting a great view of this huge freeman battle right now. TR Bruma also looking for another opportunity as we go through turn 10 now. The Williams driver unable to get a move back, but okay is down the inside of TC late on the brakes. You don't really have to brake through there, but you guys know what I mean once again. I'm sure you do. But whoa, that battle just got very exciting very quickly. It was out of nowhere. It's Polish Town. It does make his first pit stop. Also, Eke decides to make the pit stop. Oh, getting a 5-second speeding in the pit lane. But we'll see how he gets on in comparison to TC now, who's flying the flag for the McLaren team, as Polish Town did just make his pit stop.
As Peter Barr really catches up to the Mercedes driver, now 1.5 seconds separating the two of them. Of course, Scorpion was compromised a little by the freeway battle going on in front of him. Now he'll have the chance to get in front of TC.
That's 1.2.
Easy pickings for him.
TC lets him pass, not much of a fight there he can do. The Pizza Parker is on the chase and he has been closing. Let's look at the comparison from last lap here. This Pizza Parker did set a purple final sector and he was 2.6 seconds quicker than Scorpion Hun on that final lap due to that battle.
That is a huge pace advantage. Pizza Parker, but now he's going to have to get past TC to even get a chance at Scorpion. Well, I have a feeling TC will go into the pits as Catboy Keith, the race leader, goes into the pits on his old medium conv tires, same as Rich 500 and TC.
Right now the gap is from Pizza Parker to Scorpion. It's teasing us. The gap is 1.8 seconds. The chase is on.
Yes, it is for Scorpion Hun now. He is in the clean air. He will show his true pace. As we saw earlier, I think he had a 4-second lead, or maybe even more, going into the pits. As we see now, he's pulling away a little from Pizza Parker, as they are both on low ERS.
As we know, once the ERS goes under 20%, you already begin to lose power. So it's all about keeping it over that 20%. I always don't let it go under 40 until the latter stages of the Grand Prix. Remember, these drivers still have one more pit stop to go, as all drivers have only made one.
As going back to the ERS situation, Leigh Hoffner doing an amazing job with 70% of it. And now Chris is trying to overtake SC Mass. He caught up to him in the few laps we weren't on board with him. But he is on the older compound of tyres.
We'll keep an eye on the front too, with their gap, with a 1.8 second gap. It's just going up and down at the moment. Nobody really finding any time on each other. Let's talk about Chris though. He has been taking this gap down on ST Mats the last few laps, and that lap, how much quicker was he? That lap he was 2 times quicker than ST Mats.
We see him, he's using all the ERS he has. He's just abusing the overtake mode right now. Let's see how he does. Will he be close enough to SC Mats to overtake him? I don't think he will. 6 tenths separating them two.
What I reckon Chris is doing right now is he's going to make a pit stop in the coming laps here. So he's just using the ERS because the slow pit lane means he will gain a lot of it back. I reckon you can probably gain about 40% in the pits. So he'll be looking for that to happen.
Yes, he could, but if he wants to pit in the next few laps, I have a feeling it will be onto a hard compound of tyres, because Chris is right now on 10 lap old mediums. I'm not sure they're doing the best they can.
Oh, I'm sure he'll try and extend this as long as they can, but I reckon he might actually have enough time to go out on another set of mediums.
Well, he might do, but he's still not closing the gap to SC Mats so that he can overtake him. As we see further down the grid, I see on this leaderboard, Rainman and Vitinho still battling. I'm surprised it has ended up in another crash.
Both on different types of tire compounds. Rayman being on the hard, Vitinho being on the mediums. Both on 11 lap old tires. They're mainly just waiting for a safety car, and I reckon just having fun at the back here. Probably hoping that nobody's watching them.
I mean, Rainman is closing in a little on OKK, as he overtakes Bruma for P14, and Pisa Parker losing the time to Scorpion, now 2 seconds separating the two.
Well, here comes Bruma back on okay, down the inside into turn 10 there. Doesn't get the move done, but will he get it into turn 11 now? Sets himself up for the exit. Doesn't
as Chris goes
get a chance
into the pits onto a brand new set of medium tyres.
Well, speaking of a driver making his way through the field on soft tyres as TC, as he decides to get a move on behind Dexter as he moves to the left hand side of the track, getting the move done nice and easily down the inside there.
TC will be trying to make easy pickings of these drivers, as he will have to probably stop again. I doubt that these tyres can last the end of the Grand Prix. He gets a 3-second time penalty. So he still has to go into the pits.
Oh, Bruman, okay, still going at it. As Quist actually comes out behind them on a new fresh set of mediums, and he will be getting a move on now as he'll be hoping for an undercut similar to last time on the rest of the field. Maybe he can make himself into the podium position, and what a recovery drive that would be. Oh, getting very close. I'm sorry to cut you off, but Bruma taking off to the track, trying to avoid okay at the moment, but in the slipstream now, Chris will be getting held up. This is not what he would have wanted, and he's looking for any opportunity, forcing himself to go deep. Can he get it on the exit though, on the throttle as soon as possible? That's just isn't helping himself.
He really isn't, as he goes for the move on Bruma on the outside of him, the next corner. Will he make it stick? Yes, he does. Great overtake from Chris. And now he is on the back of OKK. Yaris wide open, tucks into the slipstream, tucks back out. And I think that will be him up into P13.
Well, that would have lost him a lot of time there. Don't know if we can actually see what his time was compared to the rest of the field. He'd have a 1 minute 35.6 there compared to Scorpion's 1 minute 33.083.
As I was wanting to say, that the drivers at the back right now just having a little bit of fun, as they're not really fighting for points. As we see Riley going really wide, he's in P10. Not the best race pace from him. Of course, great qualifying in P4. That's unfortunate for the Dutch driver.
Can he at least keep one position though? Or 1 point? As Alfa Romeo are the only team not on points at the moment. TC though using these soft tyres to his advantage and really making his way up the field. It's great to see, I must say.
Differing strategies. We see a lot of drivers on the medium soft or the soft medium. That's now Chris 31.6 seconds behind his teammate. The pit time loss is 23.5 seconds, so he will get really close to Scorpion as he sets the fastest lap time.
Well, to put it into perspective, Chris pitted in he pitted when the tyres were 11 laps old. The front 4 are currently on 10 lap old medium tyres, so the pit stops are coming shortly.
Yes, they must be, as Pizza Power just can't seem to get back on Scorpion. The gap is very steady, still at 2 seconds.
If I was Pizza Parker, I'd be picking this lap, getting a nice undercut on Scorpion Hun, but he's going to stay out one more lap. I wouldn't have done that. These tyres can't make it to the end from now. I would have took advantage of it because he is losing time now.
Yes, he is, but who knows what Scorpion could be doing. He could be pitting in 2 laps.
Kong Hoffner though pits.
Doubt. I think he's going to be going onto the medium compound off tyres. The same as Dexter.
I must say, a very good drive from the two Haas drivers at the moment. Really showing what they're made of, and I think this is what they need. Haas possibly putting themselves in a constructors battle.
They are 6th in the constructors currently, right now, with Leigh Hoffner in P3, and Kong Hoffner just pitting in, coming out in P14. This could be looking good for the American team.
Well, Pizza Parker is gaining the time back, but it's got to be this lap in my opinion. You've got to pit. If Scorpion Hunt doesn't pit, it's going to be a big mistake that could work on Pizza Parker's favour, as they are in the final sector now. these two really have a class of their own tonight.
Yes. It really
And
seems
they
like
get
it.
Maybe they're waiting till softs.
That is a very bold and risky strategy if they're going for that.
Well, they can take the tyres to lap 20 then and pit on to the soft compound. They'll be a bit touch and go at the end, but they'll make enough time on the drivers behind, and I'm sure they'll be fine.
It could be STC now stuck behind Cam K. He is on the soft corners. He will surely be pitting in the next lap. Those soft tires are quite old now. I think he'll be going on the medium soft. As now there is a battle for P12 between OKK Konghofner and GR Bruma. GR Bruma losing 2 positions there. That's very...
On the other strategy, member, on the fresher tyres, there's always a big tank slapper from GR Bruma. Glad we caught that on camera. As Konghofner goes in the left hand side track there, and okay, has wing damage.
No, he didn't see that, and that might ruin his chances to for getting points this race. Yes, you can see
in the
his...
pits. Peter Parker isn't.
No, is Peter going for an overcut?
Maybe thinking it's not time yet. One more lap is gonna do it for the softs, and that is how they work around here. One lap they will just blow up.
Yes, they do. It's very tire wear heavy track.
So speaking of blowing up tyres, TC will definitely be coming to that stage. But he is actually sticking on the back of Cam here, so maybe we're wrong. Maybe these tyres are going longer than what we expected.
They could, of course. Drivers have different driving styles. Some may be harsher on the tyres, some may be more lenient on them.
Well,
And
TC
the ones
looking
who are
punchy as ever as they go in the straight now. 5 temps splits them both now, 6 as he gets a bad exit. The DRS is activated, but can he get close enough? No, he cannot. But TC being confident on the brakes as always.
As now Chris is right at the back of Riley as Rainman sets the fastest lap time. I don't think he'll be getting past Riley on this lap unless he goes for a very opportunistic move into turn 11. No, he does not, but
Well, we
he
see
hits
another...
the back of Riley.
Well, we see another roundy outside. He might try it. He's looking for some extra grip. He's going to do the switchback. Gets a very nice exit. Activates his ERS, but not enough ERS to actually fight Riley. Really just looking anywhere possible, and that's also lost him more time. Chris really getting unlucky with this.
As Pizza Parker stays out, Leyhoffner's went into the pits onto brand new softs, but Pizza Parker has stayed out, which means it's a 1-2 currently for Racing Point at a 3-4 for Mercedes.
I really hope Pizza Parker and Catboy Key have not forgot the 2-stop rule here.
I hope they haven't. The pit lane loss, the time loss is 23 seconds, which would mean that Pizza Parker would come out just ahead of Chris if everything goes according to plan. As now Leyhoffner gets ahead of Rich 500. Great move he is on the brand new set of softs. He is gonna try to catch up to Chris and potentially nab that
Estimas
podium.
down the inside into turn 10 there. Rich unable to fight on his 9-lap old medium tyres.
Just losing 2 positions there, so not the best for him, but he is still in the points. As now KK going side by side with Bruma into turn 11. He does switch back into turn 10, but he stays behind him.
Norwich Town also looking, then he's going to go round the outside. Peace Parker does finally pit, and he will come out a big gap behind the Scorpion on who he was fighting before, but maybe we're seeing a bit of teamwork here. Catboy Key is yet to pit. Scorpion on is catching.
Now that would be a great teamwork from the Racing Point team, I must say.
Peace Parker catching by a second there, I think that was. Or about what, a good few tenths. So he's on the chase. He's gonna have 2 lap fresher tires, and he's really sending it now.
Now, Peace Parker will be hoping that Cowboy Key just holds up Scorpion.
Scorpion's getting no ERS as well to add compared to Pizza Parker's 40%.
Cowboy Key also with a lot of ERS, so that will help him if he wants to defend against Scorpion.
Oh, here we go. We'll see what's happening. Does Catboy keep pit? No, yes he does.
He does.
But I think Pizza Parker's catching quick enough. That's 2 seconds, I believe that was, out of Scorpion's lap time now.
I'm just gonna check the lap times after they go across the finish line. Oh, it's 1:41.522 and a 1:33.
Yeah, but remember he came in the pits, I think it was.
990.
I don't know, Peace Parker was quicker. I mean, he did gain a lot of time, and he is still gaining a lot of time. So I think the TAS system may be a bit wrong there.
It said that Pizza Burger was 8 tenths slower than Scorpion in Sector 3.
Well, he's still catching. He's catching on the straights, he's catching everywhere. And I think Scorpion Hunter's really just trying to run away at this point.
Yes, I have a feeling he is, as he has a glitch for me with the revving that still hasn't been fixed. But now Pizza Burger, he has used up a lot, I say a lot of his ERS, down to 15%. That's not the best for him.
The gap's now 5.6 seconds. It's going down basically every corner, every straight. Peace Parker's using the ERS, but Scorpion's been saving a bit.
Yes, he has. Has he? As Pizza Parker sets the fastest lap time, 1:30.168. Now, just gonna check Scorpion's lap time. It was a 1:31.316. That's, I think, 1 second. Now, Pizza Parker, will he be using overtake mode? He does for a split second. But try and catch up to Scorpion on 5.1 seconds the gap is currently. Now, I don't think it will be enough for him to grab the win. I think he may have left it a little bit too late to go for that overcut. Oh,
One lap was enough, but 2 laps was maybe just a bit too audacious, I would say, from Pizza Parker.
Yes, it might have been. Now Leigh Hoffner is catching up to Chris. 1.3 seconds the gap is now. Can we see the Haas driver steal the podium
back
from Chris? Yes,
steal it
back.
from Chris.
as that would be his first. No, that would be his first podium.
But speaking
Or
of the other
third.
Hofner, Catboy Key is on the chart with his brand new soft tyres, and he is looking quick.
Yes, he is. Racing points, leaving it very late to go on this soft tyres. But it might work out. Peter Parker not gaining a lot anymore. The gap stays at 5.1 seconds, and I think Peter Parker will just settle for the podium.
Lehofner just sitting with ease right now with tons of ERS sitting in the tank, while Quest is playing around with about 0% every straight. ST Matt's also losing time at these two.
Yes, he is. Cowboy Keen, he is not close enough as Riley gets a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, but speaking of Riley, Ritz moves to the right hand side of the circuit here, and that looks like the battle for 11th is going to be round the outside for Rich 500. Riley Byes gives him a lot of space there, taking a lot of curb to ensure both of them don't crash. But the Alfa Romeo holds the position, but still no points for the driver. If I was him, I would just pit this lap and go for quickest lap, but it looks like he's not going to. His Rich oh my god, his Rich 500 is going for a switchback. Riley Bads goes wide there, but comes back at him on the exit. What about ILRT Dexter as he's looking to get involved, but not at the moment in sector 3. Sorry to Rich 500, almost called you Rich Energy. That would have I apologise.
Would be better if he was in that.
Lehofner though struggling to get in this 1 second gap of Chris, but I reckon when he does, and he needs to use a bit more ERS. He's only got 2 laps left to go. Activates the DRS. Let's see the closing speed of this Haas driver, or of this Haas car, compared to Chris's Mercedes.
I don't think they'll be close enough.
Lehofner's got to use more ERS, man. He's sitting with 40.
He might be waiting for the last lap just to fully blast it, all guns blazing. But now Rich 500 at the back of Riley. He has DRS wide open. Or will he go down the inside? Yes, he does. As Riley has some wing damage. His front left end plate is gone.
Well, I'm gonna stop watching this battle for now. And you should keep on board with it. Them two like to battle in that final sector. But Lehofner 5 attempts back. This is for the final podium position. Chris with a brilliant recovery drive. Can he put the icing on the cake and get that podium position? Lehofner really showing his pace, showing the confidence in his Haas car. He's got 40% ERS. He's going to spill it all out in this final straight, I reckon. The gap is 4 tenths to Chris here. Activates the DRS. Chris is getting nothing to answer for on the final lap. And it's 0% ERS for him as Lehofner just charges away on the straight.
That was a very good move, and it's good that he left his ERS.
Oh, Catboy Key round the outside and turn 8. Holds it round the outside but doesn't get the exit. Come off there and almost a half spin there to add to that fight. What about Dexter as he comes on to the back of... We're going to have to go to the lead fight. The winner here, Scorpion Hun, rounds the final corner and he comes up to the line, weaving his car a very well deserved victory, crosses the line in P1. A very good comeback after last week's P3. Peter Parker with a very solid P2. Lehofner with a very well deserved, hard fought for P3. Comes across the line and does not hold position on Chris. Chris with an outstanding recovery drive into P3. ST Mass across the line in P5. Kong Hofner in P6 there. Catboy K P7. Doesn't get the move done in the end. What about Paul Town as he comes across the line? in P8. A very solid drive from the McLaren driver. Cam also crossing the line, holding P9. TC P10, getting the last points position. Riley buys after quite a very good qualifying, but not the best of races. Moves down to P13 on penalties. GR Bruma coming across the final corner after a very hard fought race against OK Eke. Across the line, both of them will go, and OK takes the position in the end. Rainman stayed in the Grand Prix from start to finish, even though he was even though he had a huge crash in turn 1, but big props for staying in the race for that long in no man's land.
As Cam came on, according to the game, he gets driver of the day. And who will be your driver of the day nominee?
Now I went Chris last week. I mean, I would like to go for him once again, but I've got to say Lehofner. His drive was absolutely excellent, showed his pace, showed how comfortable he was in that Haas car, and I really think when you see someone that comfortable in that in a car, it shows that they put a lot of effort into practicing and coming to this race. So he's going to be my driver of the day.
Now, I was hoping for you to pick Chris, because that was my driver of the day, Leigh Hofner. But I guess then I'll go with Chris after his outstanding comeback drive, which left him nearly last. And he went back on to grab the podium away from Leigh Hofner after penalties.
Well, I'm going to quickly go through the results here. Scorpion Hunt P1, Peter Parker P2, Chris P3, Law Hofner P4, ST Max P5, Kong Hofner P6, a very solid drive from him. Catboy Key P7, also a very solid drive. Good point haulage from the 2 racing points. Polish Town P8, Cam K-Mom P9, TC P10, the Belgium driver. He has put on a great show today. ILRT Dexter and P11, Rich 500 and P12, Riley Buys P13, OK Eke and P14, Rainman P15, GR Bruma P16, Vitinho does go P17, and Zepedudo, the only retirement in today's Grand Prix. Now back to the driver of the day. I picked Lehofner, you picked who?
Chris.
Chris. So what is your question for Chris this week?
Was it difficult to adjust to the new strategy after spinning on lap 3? I think that was. His tires were probably like lava. They were probably extremely hot.
Well,
So
well, my questions for Lehofner has to be, where did the pace come from? I mean, that must have. I want to ask, kind of, did you put a lot of practice in for this race? Because to me, it just seemed like you were the driver that seemed the most comfortable out of anyone in tonight's race. You just knew exactly what you were to do, and you, in the end, got the result you wanted. Well, maybe not what you wanted. You maybe wanted more, but got a very nice result in P4 there. Missed out in P3 due to a penalty. But I want to know how much practice, what you done to feel that comfortable in the car, because it was a great performance and it was great to watch you.
yeah, it really was. And do you have anything left to say?
Well, back to the sponsors. Check out Next Level Racing, who offer us a great deal of wheel stands. Sorry, I had a mind blank. But they also offer, if you want to go purchase some Next Level Racing products, they offer flight rigs, driving simulators, and wheel stands that are easily portable. Just shove them in the corner of your room and whip it out when you want to race. Also, for the Liam won, or Liam won free.
EM 1-3, yes.
Yep. I want to say thank you to him for offering to sponsor One Hub for this season, and paying for all the trophies that will be awarded to each driver, or well, that will be awarded to the top 3 drivers in the championship and the constructors winners.
So I think that is
Yep.
everything that we had to cover.
Well, thank you for watching us at One Hub Racing Podium tier. Make sure to go check out Pinnacle, and I think Prestige is on tonight. I'm not too sure, or Precision, sorry. Need to get used to that. But thank you for watching. We'll see you next week at the circuit of Spa-Francorchamps, Belgium, TC's home circuit. See how he gets on. But thank you everyone for watching.